I want to go over this wide receiver position. This wide receiver position has not even came close to what we want it to be. We really haven't. There's a lot of players on this team right now, wide receiver-wise, that haven't even spread their wings and fly yet. I mean, we haven't seen these guys hit the top of their game yet. We've seen glimpses and glimpses, and half the time the Eagles have messed it all up. The front office has messed it all up. Okay? You're going into 2021. You have Deshaun Jackson still on the roster. You have Marquise Goodwin still on the roster. Marquise Goodwin took off in 2020 because of COVID. He was having a baby. I had no problem with him staying home and just chilling. That's fine. No problem with that. Okay? He's going to be a cheaper contract coming into this year in 2021. He's only going to cost, $3-4 million this year. So we'll see if the Eagles actually keep him. But Marquise Goodwin hasn't had a good season since 2017. He hasn't had, 1,000 yards that year. And ever since then, he's been hurt every single year, besides last year because he didn't play, because he stood out. So with Deshaun Jackson getting hurt nonstop, constantly, okay? Constantly getting hurt. I mean, every time. We can't hold him for more than a game. 2019, one game. Came back, week 5 against the Bears and went back out, didn't get surgery, was forced to get surgery. Finally got the surgery, it was too late. Waited too long on his own decision, it was too late. We couldn't get Deshaun Jackson in the playoffs last year when we needed him the most. We had no speed in this offense. Nothing to replace D-Jack's speed. You got Travis Fulgham on the roster, a guy that just came out of the blue. Guy came from Detroit off the practice squad or whatnot, and we didn't really think much, okay? And he balled out. Since week 4 of the season, he was balling out. And then a few weeks later, he was benched yet again by the Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey started to get healthy. Deshaun Jackson started to get healthy. And Travis Fulgham was out the door. Pretty much. Doug Peterson went on the press conference saying, give an excuse for Travis Fulgham, saying, you know what? He's got to learn how to be a better receiver against these, high-profile cornerbacks in the league. And, kind of putting, the blame on why he wasn't playing. Kind of downplayed it a little bit. Travis Fulgham was perfect. And whatever they used for him was great. And then finally, he got benched in. How is a player supposed to get better? But you want to put your veterans. The veteran favoritism on this Eagles team has been ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. Greg Ward, one of my favorites, a guy that's been cut off this team twice, had a shot last year in 2019, he finally had a shot. Receivers were hurt. He came in. He was one of the all-time favorites at the end of the year. Caught that winning touchdown against the Redskins at the end of the year. We had to win out against the NFC East the last month of the season, and we did it. Greg Ward was fantastic this year. Third down, fantastic. Great hands, reliable. You had guys like John Hightower, was learning, was really just throwing deep balls, just go routes. That's all he was really doing this whole year was go routes, which I think John Hightower could do a lot more than that. Okay, Quez Watkins was hurt earlier this season, didn't get a shot, then finally threw a screen pass to one of these games and took it to the house to see how much speed Quez Watkins has. Your 5th and 6th round picks actually worked out okay. I think Quez is just another player that we need to see more of. So us going into 2021 saying we need receivers, I understand that, but we haven't seen everybody. We have not seen just what we actually have with good coaching connected to it. That's the problem. We haven't had good coaching connected to this offense to show these players their huge strengths and what they can actually bring to the team. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, I'm kind of done with him because I don't know. By the end of the year, JJ was catching some passes, and I was saying to myself, he can catch some throws, he can catch some contested catches, and, he can catch some of those balls nicely. But is it going to be on a consistent basis? Because we all know how many receivers we've lost out on the past couple years between Justin Jefferson, DK Metcalf, Terry McLaurin, A.J. Brown. You can go down the list with receivers that we have totally botched and did not get in these drafts, which is ridiculous. Okay. Very proud of, these guys can control only what they can control. Like, if they're told to run a specific route, they run it. The route tree, the route combinations for these plays were so horrible, it really made no sense. It was to the point where I saw most of the team for one game doing a lot of go routes, and there was nobody down. Like, Carson would hold on to the ball. By the time Carson is waiting for guys to get open, they're still running their route. So obviously something's wrong with the play design. Obviously Press Taylor and Doug Peterson were sharing that moment together all season long. Oh, I'm going to do some of the plays. Oh, I passed some of the playbook to Press Taylor. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. But with Nick Sirianni here, okay, Shane Steichen is here. You got an offense that has a lot of familiarity with, with other teams that they've been on, like the Chargers, the Colts, and there's a lot of moving pieces here. We haven't seen this full potential of this wide receiver group at all. I like Hightower. I like Quez Watkins. Jalen Reagor obviously was stinted by injuries this year, was hurt, 3 times already this year? Okay? And when I saw Reagor at the end of the year, even that Cowboys game too, like just getting that ball in open field and how fast he can, all those yards he could get downfield, I was kind of, this kid's got it. He does. It's just that the play design is wrong. The coaching is wrong. Everything is wrong with these receivers, and it's not helping their play. Jalen Reagor, I think, is going to have a great year in 2021. I think Jalen Reagor is going to be fantastic in 2021. The only thing I don't know is if the Eagles are going to go after receiver with the number 6 overall pick and deciding with on the Carson Wentz trade. We're going to see what happens there, too, on what other picks we're going to have. But there's plenty of receivers in the second round that obviously could help this team and that they're not superstars, but they're highly productive in their craft and they work hard. Okay. It's time for this wide receiver core to shine. Obviously, you need a quarterback for that. And I hope we have him this year. I hope Jalen Hurts does something this year. I hope the play calling to Jalen Hurts is very well. I hope they're used very well. And I think Nick Sirianni is intellectually tough and can get these guys going. Okay, there's nothing promising about all these coaches. I liked all the hires, but at the end of the day, they got to show it on the field. They got to draft the right guys. Even free agency guys. I mean, free agency is a whole different ball game because, we were 70 over the cap. We're actually going to be shedding this cap space very soon. Getting rid of trading Wentz will clear up some space, and you have to eat some $33 million in dead money. But I mean, that's manageable to do that. Alshon Jeffrey is definitely going to be gone off this team. They already restructured him and Malik Jackson, so those restructured contracts are going to turn into releases sooner or later if they can't trade those guys for, $25 million in cap space for both players together combined? I think there's so much more. We have a lot of youth at wide receiver. Travis Fulgham's going to be a free agent this year. So I don't know, and Greg Ward. So I don't know if they're going to pick up both of those. Those two players did a lot of work this year. They did. Travis Fulgham only had so much control. Jalen Reagor was just, I don't know what he was used for. He wasn't used to be that dynamic wide receiver that we needed with all that speed. Was not used for that. At the end of the second half, right before, at the end of the second half with Jalen Reagor, when, they throw the ball to him and he's got a few seconds left on the clock to get as many yards. There's 5 blockers in front of him. And he gets tackled by the first guy that walks up to him, which it's just not right. And I knew that was just a bad play. I knew that Reagor just made a mistake, and it was just embarrassing. I know that Reagor could do a lot better. I think he's going to be a better player next year. I really think so. I really think he's going to be, because there's glimpses of these players I see such good things from. I'm saying, man, if they could just do this every play all the time, I mean, I just see it. You have a running back. You have an offensive line, unless they get hurt, before the season starts. And you have some depth with Nate Herbig and Jack Driscoll. You got Jordan Mailata there. Hopefully Jason Peters doesn't come back. These receivers are young. Reagor, Watkins, Hightower. You got some young guys here. Travis Fulgham, if they bring him back. young. They're all young. They got a lot of experience. And that's the one thing that we could take from 2019 and 2020. These young guys have got a lot of starting experience. So when they come into camp this year, it's not going to be new to them. It's not going to be they've never been in this situation before. They've been in this situation before. The Eagles have made mistakes time and time again this year. They couldn't design any offense against the defense this year. The route combinations were horrible, did not help the quarterback. And obviously we had a quarterback that just couldn't throw to any of these guys. And sometimes, I think it was the Browns game, I saw Jalen Reagor open. There was a video of all times he was open and Carson just couldn't find him, couldn't see him, or he was getting chased, regardless of what was going on. Reagor was open about 6-7 times during that Browns game. Could have got a lot of chunk yards out of it. There were times when these receivers were underthrown, overthrown, in the wrong spot. Quarterback and receiver aren't on the same page. You saw from the first game against Washington, opening of the season, I mean, the pick was in the same exact spot on both plays that were exactly the same for Hightower. I think it was Hightower on both of them that two picks happened for Washington. I like the wide receiver coach in Aaron Moorhead. I have no problem at all. But I think some moves will be made. I don't think we're done with wide receiver. I don't think we're not adding to it. I think we're definitely adding to it. Now, I understand that a lot of guys want Devonta Smith and Jamar Chase with number 6. To be honest with you guys, it could happen. And then there's a big chance it might not happen because this offense, we haven't seen the full depth of this offense. We haven't seen, with good coaching involved, we have not seen this offense spread its wings and fly. We have not seen the full advantage this offense could bring on the field because of the coaching. And I'll say it again for the millionth time, because of the coaching and the play calling and that one-page playbook we were playing on all year long. That's what just makes me so angry. And then when Alshon Jeffrey and Deshaun Jackson come back, two guys that cannot stay healthy at all, okay, at all these other guys get benched. John Hightower got benched immediately. Travis Fulgham got benched immediately. And then when you want Travis Fulgham to go back in, he can't make a play. He made a couple plays here and there, nothing crazy, but, a couple first downs. But what do you expect? And then Travis Fulgham gets on the field, he doesn't make a catch, or something happens, or, what do you expect him to do? Like, because he's been sitting on the bench, he was on a hot streak, and you pretty much broke it. You broke the hot streak. You pretty much just said, whatever. Jordan Malato's playing good at left tackle, and you said, nah, it's all right. Bring Jason Peters back in the lineup. Doug Peterson wanted Jordan Mailata to learn from the bench, whatever he was saying that week, whatever that even meant. I didn't even know what it meant at this point. But very, just got me so angry this year. I really hope it turns around. I really hope so. Okay? Not saying we need to add it, we need that number one guy. I still think there's a lot left to prove on this team. I think at receiver, there's guys proving to be a number one. Do I think the Eagles should still maybe draft one? Definitely. But there's a big chance they might not draft one at 6. It might not even happen, guys. Might not. We have a lot of holes. Receiver is the least worry we have. We have no secondary besides Slay. We have no safeties. Unless they bring Jalen Mills or Rodney McLeod back, but we still need another spot. We have no depth. We don't have that moving piece on defense. We have no linebackers besides Alex Singleton right now. Davion Taylor never got a chance. Nathan Gary got all the chances this year and kept defending him. Every game he messed up, they kept defending him. That's why they screwed this up bad. And they've done it time and time again. Jim Schwartz was Doug Peterson. Exactly, except he was on defense. Jim Schwartz was the Doug Peterson of defense, pretty much. Defending all the players that play horrible, putting in Nathan Gary because he's a veteran. He's been here. He's called the plays before. They feel more comfortable with him, but he keeps messing up games every time. I know we're trying to talk about wide receivers right now, but this is it's just a rant that has to keep going on. I still think this wide receiver group, besides like JJ, I think a Whiteside that I really don't have much I don't have really much faith in JJ right now. Competition this year is going to be great. We're going to have camp. We're going to have, hopefully everything is a normal offseason. We need a normal offseason. This team needs to. Jalen Hurts is bringing out the wide receivers to play catch and do plays, and I'm glad that Jalen Hurts is taking that leadership role to take these guys out. I'm not saying Jalen Hurts is going to be John Elway. I'm not saying anything like that, but at least someone is taking the prerogative. Someone's taking that step as Jalen Hurts is taking that leadership step, whether he's going to be a good quarterback or not. At least he's showing that he wants to lead these guys to victory. And that's all that matters to me as of right now. Okay? That's all that matters. This receiver group has yet, and I'll say it for the millionth time in this video, has yet to blossom for what we have. We haven't seen the best of this receiver group. And if they add to it, then yeah, great. We haven't seen the best of this group. I can't wait to see this group flourish even more under this new coaching staff we needed badly. And I think we're going to get it. Let me know what you guys think about this new coaching staff, about these receivers and how much ceiling they need and how much they have. And what do you think about adding more receivers? Still need that number one. You let me know. I'll see you guys later. And by the way, guys, thank you very much. We'll be talking about this later as well, but we just hit over 11,000 subscribers, well over 11,000 subscribers on this channel, so I very much appreciate that from all of you. Shakes caught up. I appreciate it for everybody. The support's been unreal. See you guys later. Shakes caught up. Flyers fly. Peace out, guys. Peace.